let's have some fun. One of my subscribers, Chronicle Films, has asked if I can do a tutorial on how to make a doorway darker, maybe at the end of a hall, like they do in horror films. And what a great time to do it. It's October and it's coming up to Halloween. Let's get started. First thing we need is a piece of footage with a hallway and a door at the end of it. Now I found one in stock media, so if you go to Pexels and just type in hallway and change the orientation to landscape, and I'm just going to use a photo, but it's the same for video, and then I will choose this one. So drag that down onto the timeline, and we want a copy of that as well, so I'll just drag another one down on top of it. Right, so there's the hallway. Let's just click on there to make it the full width so we can see what we're doing. Okay, that's great. Now what I want to do is I want to chop this up into 4 or 5 pieces, and the reason I want to do that is I want the first piece to be just the doors at the back, then I want the second piece to be where the light is, third piece where that light is, fourth piece and fifth piece of footage. So let's just move in a bit. I will highlight both of them because I want to chop both clips. I'll cut them there. I'll move in a bit more. I'll cut them there. A bit more. I'll move in a bit more. And we'll chop that there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we want 5, so I need to move it in to the last stage. Make sure they're both highlighted and chop. So we've got 5 separate. No, we haven't. I haven't chopped that one. It must have slipped. So let me go back into the middle there. Highlight both of them and click on cut again. So it's always good to check as well, because I don't know how many times I've thought I've cut a piece of footage or clipped it and I haven't. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 now. Who cares? I don't. Right, we'll just get rid of the end one if we don't need it. Simple. Okay, so let's go back to the start. Now the first thing that Chronicle Films wanted to do was just darken the doorway at the end, say for example in this clip. Nothing extra, just darken that doorway. So an easy way to do that is to create a mask around this doorway, and we do that on the top track. We click on the top track, we go to image, mask, and we'll just use a rectangle. Now we can't really see what's going on there because we've still got the bottom track activated. Let's hide that track. That's better. And we just scrunch this down. Is scrunch a word? We just change the size of this and move it about until we're happy. Let's just make it a bit smaller again, and maybe a bit smaller. Now it's not exactly central, but what you can do is you can actually nudge it across slightly by using the arrow keys on the keyboard. So I'll nudge right and I'll nudge up. That looks about right. Now what I want to do is I want to unhide the bottom track again, click on the bottom clip, and I want to make that quite dark. So let's go to color and we'll change the exposure. And because we've got a mask, sorry, I've done that the wrong way around. The mask needs to be inverted. Another good tip, which I always get wrong, but it's all part of the learning process. We need to go back to the top clip, go back to mask, and we need to make sure that the mask is actually inverted. So click on invert mask. Now we can go to the bottom track and go back to color, and we'll change the exposure, and you can see the central part is now dimming down, which is what we want. So we'll change the exposure down, we'll drop the brightness down just so we can still see the door, and it's quite sharp around the edges there, very square. We need to go back to the top clip where the mask is, go back to the mask settings, and we want to put a blur strength around the edge of this so that it mingles mingles so that got some strange words to them, right? So that it blends with the lighting. Oh god, kick myself off again now. I'll come back in a minute. Right, that's over with. So we need to create a blur strength, and you can see by doing that the darkness merges with the rest of the lighting, so that looks better. Still a little bit light, so I'll make it a bit darker. Bottom track, don't forget it's the bottom track that's dark. So go to basic, sorry, go to color, and we'll just change the brightness down again a little bit more. Okay, that looks okay. Now what we can do, we can use this same color, or we can use the same brightness on all of the other clips that we chopped up. And the way we do that is in fact, let me just show you. Let's hide the top track. Now at the moment, that's all dark. The next track isn't, it's all bright, and so on. So what we can do is right click on the clip we want to use, do copy effect, go to the next one, right click and paste effect. And we can do that on all the chopped up clips. Paste effect, paste effect, paste effect, and on the last one as well, paste effect. Now what we can do, unhide the top clip, and we can see the first one is already done, but the other clips on the top don't have any mask on it. Now we can recreate the mask by going in and doing it again, or what we can do is, as we did with the bottom track, right click, copy effect, and that will actually copy the mask. So go on to the next one, right click and paste effect. Same on the third one, paste effect. Fourth, paste effect. Fifth, paste effect. And sixth, paste effect. There you go. Didn't know I could count up to 6, did you? Well, it's a good job. I've got 5 fingers in that hand, and I'll forget. Never mind. Oh. So now we've got all of the image masks on each one of the clips. What we need to do now is go along to the second clip, and we want this mask to go over this set of lights as if those lights have gone out. So let's just click on that. Let's go to mask, and all we need to do is, again, make sure we're highlighted on that clip, is change the scale, and that will move it forward as if those lights have gone out. Go to the next clip, highlight it, click on it, change the scale up, and we want to go past these lights now. So take it past those lights. Okay, that looks a little bit high, so we can take that down a touch. That looks better there. Next clip along, we want to go past these lights, so again, just scale it just past there and move it down, because again, it's too high. I say "and again" a lot, don't I? My wife keeps telling me off for it. Can't help it. Right, last one. I forgot what I was up to then. Right, next one. Not the last one, the next one. Along, scale it up again. Now you'll notice we can only scale up to 200%, and we need to be bigger than that. So what we can do is just increase the width and increase the height manually. Or you can actually click on it and drag it. It's exactly the same. I need to move it down. So it's just going past those lights. That needs to be a little bit bigger, I think. Let's try there and try there. And the last one needs to be totally black. So we can just scale it right up and take the width and the height so that it covers all of the screen. So far so good. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, doesn't look too bad, but I think the actual lighting, not so much on the first and second one, but on the third one it looks a little bit sharp around the edges. So what we can do is click on that one and just make the blur strength a bit more. Again on the next one, and again. I don't know. Change the blur strength on it so it blends better. Now I know it's still a bit pale at the back at the moment. You can see right the way through. Don't worry about that. We'll sort that in a minute. Next one along, do the blur again so it blends in nicely. And the last one is full black, so that's fine. So let's have a quick check on that one. Yeah, that looks better. Looks like the lights are going off. Now what we need to do is go into the bottom track, and we're going to change the darkness of these now. The first one is dark, and that can be used just as a single frame, which is what Chronicle Films wanted to use, probably as a piece of B-roll, and I just extended that into this hallway with the lights going off. So let's go to the second one, and we'll make the background a bit darker. So we have to be on the bottom track, and we'll just take the brightness down ever so slightly. Not much. That'll do. Go to the next one, bottom track, brightness down a bit more, just so that you're seeing slightly less and less of the door in the background, because that's what would happen. As the lights were going off, it'd be getting darker and darker, and that's what we're trying to recreate now. So I shall darken that down a little bit more, and I think the last one, or second to last one, needs to be just so you can see it. You can just barely see it. That might do, and then the last one can be pitch black. So just take the brightness right the way down. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that worked better. Let's just have a look one more time. So it goes slightly darker in the background each time it comes up. Yeah, that looks okay. That'll work. So that's the effect we created. Now what we want is we want to put in a sound effect as if the lights are getting switched off. So let's go to Audio, Sound Effect, and we'll type in Light Switch. And I used, if I'm not mistaken, light switch, where is it? Turn on the light 2. So I'll drag that down onto the timeline, and it needs to be after the first one, because obviously that's when the first light kicks off, or switches off, sorry. You'll notice on the audio there's a bit of a gap there, so let's just move that down until we get to the actual sound, and I'll drag that across and just start it just as the light switches off. Okay, that sounds good. I'll right click and copy that. I'll go to the next clip. I'll go a frame before actually, and I'll just paste that onto the audio track. Control V on your keyboard will let you paste that in, or you can right click and paste. So I've just done Control V on that one. I'll do right click and paste on the next one to show you how that works as well. So I'll just go to the frame before the actual clip where it kicks in. I'll go on the audio timeline, right click and paste. There we go. Do the same again here, paste. And the very last one just before, right click and paste. Actually this first one I just want to move it across, so I'm just going to zoom in. So click on that to zoom in and move across to the first frame, sorry, the first audio clip, and move that across slightly. Yeah, that looks better. Click on that one again to see the whole timeline, and let's go back to the beginning and see and hear what that sounds like. Great effect, isn't it? What I also did then was added in some background music for a bit of ambience. So let's go to Audio, Music, and search for Horror. Horror. And the first one that comes up is Horror Atmosphere 02. So we'll click and drag that down onto the next audio timeline. And we can see at the end here where you can chop this off at the end. We don't need that. So I'll just click on there. I'll delete that last bit and I'll fade out the music here. And the way you do that very easily, little dot there, click and drag, and that's faded out. Let's look and hear what that sounds like now. Well, there you go. Like I said, it's a great effect, quite easy to do and great for a horror intro. Thanks again to Chronicle Films for asking me to do a tutorial on this. I enjoyed doing that. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Please remember to like, subscribe and click on the notification bell. It really does help my channel. And if you create any horror videos coming up to Halloween, please drop a link in the description below. I would love to see them. As always, thank you very much for watching. Now go have some fun.